All right. Welcome everyone to another episode of Live Stream with Snowflakes. In today's episode, we are going to talk about all things SnowConvert. Well, what is SnowConvert and why are we talking about it today? Well, you gotta wait a couple minutes as I bring on the engineering and the product folks on SnowConvert to talk all about the migration process to Snowflake. Hint, hint. I am Vino Duraisamy. I work as a developer advocate at Snowflake, and I'm going to bring Kuo from the engineering team of SnowConvert and Federico from the product team. Hey, Federico and Kuo, super excited to have you on the team. I know we are going to be talking about all things migration and SnowConvert. Firstly, what is SnowConvert? Do one of you take it? And why are we talking about it today, of all days? I know it's existed for a while now.
Yes. Hi, good morning. And SnowConvert is actually our high fidelity transpiler that helps customers migrate their workloads from the legacy platforms into Snowflake. And we're currently supporting, Oracle, Teradata, SQL Server. And actually today, as part of the announcement that we're making today, we're also announcing support for Amazon Redshift. So SnowConvert helps you migrate all of your DDL and DML from those legacy platforms.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic. So if I have to sum it up, firstly, SnowConvert allows us to migrate from traditional warehousing to data cloud by allowing us to do the code conversion. And secondly, apparently today is the day we announced Redshift support for the tool. And thirdly, it is free for everybody to use. So that's exciting. A lot of new things happening today.
Yes, exactly. Today we're also announcing that SnowConvert becomes available to everybody without any, restriction. It's free for everybody. And maybe it's important to say why we're launching it as free for everybody. And it's because SnowConvert has been, you know, used by our professional services team and by a select number of partners and customers uh, during the past few years, with great success. And so now we want to make sure that everybody can leverage the power of SnowConvert, to accelerate their migrations to Snowflake.
I see. Yeah, I have seen our professional services team talk about the tool for a while now. So that's super interesting that from today it is open for everybody to use. But then I also feel like in today's theme, we say that it is the migration process to Snowflake and then SnowConvert multiple times. Are they interchangeable, or where does SnowConvert fit into the bigger picture of migrating to Snowflake? Do you want to speak a bit to that?
Yes. Can I bring up just one slide, so that I can share a little bit about what
Hmm.
is the migration process, that how can you see the migration between a legacy platform into Snowflake, right? We have 9 stages that we have identified that are important that you plan for when you're doing one of these migrations. And again, the first one is exactly planning, where you want to make sure that you understand the scope of your migration, you understand all of the objects that you need to migrate, you understand all of the ingestion pipelines, as well as all of the BI and how users are actually currently using the data that is stored in the warehouse. And
Hmm.
then, of course, you have to do some environment setup, and then you have to migrate the database. And this is where SnowConvert, helps, in migrating all of the DDL. When I say DDLs, I'm talking about, tables, views, stored procedures, functions, and a lot of times even just DMLs, just user queries, because that we have users, and I've seen queries that are a couple of thousand lines long, right? And they have if they're written, for example, with Teradata syntax, it would take a while for an engineer to actually convert it to Snowflake syntax, and SnowConvert can help with that process. Then, of course, going through the migration process, you also have to migrate the data, and then you have to either repoint or modify your pipelines so that you can ingest data into Snowflake. And then you have all of the reporting and analytics that also has to be taken into consideration. Because even when you're working with some of the standard BI tools, sometimes you have custom syntax or custom queries inside the BI tools, and those custom queries also need to be touched, right? Now that you're moving to Snowflake, and so
Hmm.
and SnowConvert can also help with those things, right? If you extract those queries, SnowConvert can help you migrate some of those queries. And then, of course, you have data validation and testing, because for every migration, you want to make sure that at the end, the business is not affected. You're doing a technical migration. The business users should not be affected. So, you have to pay a lot of attention into data validation and testing, and then deployment, and then finally the users can you know take advantage of all of the features that Snowflake has, that are a lot more than the legacy platforms, as you know, Vino. It,
Mhm.
the migration is just an initial step, and then customers can enjoy their new life on top of Snowflake.
I see. I can totally see that how, a migration from a legacy data warehouse to Snowflake could be a multi-step process. Like you were saying, code conversion is definitely a bigger piece of these
Mhm.
different puzzles, but also it definitely involves the other parts, validation, for example, being the most important one. And SnowConvert exactly helps us with the database code conversion steps. So that's interesting to know where it fits in the larger scheme of things when you're migrating off to Snowflake.
Mhm.
Awesome. I have a follow up to that, which is say, for example, our team has been using this tool. I guess our professional services team and even some of the SI partners have been using the SnowConvert to do this for a while now.
Mhm.
Why are we, openly making it available for everybody? But also, what should I know before getting started with SnowConvert, right? As a Snowflake user, is there anything that I should know, or how do I get started?
Sure. So, as I said before, I mean, we've used it many times successfully on many projects, and so we think that the tool is ready for more people to take advantage of its capabilities. And before getting started, it's always important that you have a team that actually understands Snowflake. So, I mean, we always recommend Snowflake training before actually attempting a migration to Snowflake. But also, let me tell you what SnowConvert really is. SnowConvert is an on-prem tool, so you have to download it and install it on your machine, and SnowConvert never connects to your database or to your Snowflake account, right? So there is a process that you have to follow where you have to extract your DDL from the legacy platform, and we actually provide a set of DDL of extraction scripts that you can run and obtain all of the DDL from your database. And then that is the input for SnowConvert to do the conversion. And then, of course, there is an output. And as we will probably see later on, because I think we're going to demo this, right? So we're going to see in the demo that the migration is typically 96, around the 96% mark in terms of completeness and correctness, but there is always some small work that has to be completed to finish the migration. And so we provide a number of messages into the converted code so that migration engineers can look at those messages and know what to do. But in terms of getting started, I mean, you should take the SnowConvert training that we have, and then
Mhm.
download the tool, and then just extract your script, and then start using it.
I see. Okay, that's interesting because SnowConvert as a tool has been battle tested by our own professional services team and our SI partners for a while now. So the tool is robust. However, because it's a separate tool from Snowflake, so even if I'm a Snowflake developer today, there is no way that I would have had any familiarity with SnowConvert. So it's just because of the nature of that, it makes sense for me to get an understanding of how to use the tool. So take the training and then get started with the tool is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think
yeah. Mhm.
I think the demo later today might also help me form a better mental model of, how do I download the code or like extract the code from SnowConvert, move it to Snowflake, how do I run the workflows and so on. Just a quick question though, when we're talking about code conversions, can I say convert any existing DDO queries into Snowflake code? Or can I migrate an entire workflow? What's the scale we're talking about? Or what is the range that is supported by SnowConvert?
Yeah, actually, because of the way in which SnowConvert is built, it's a transpiler, and so we always recommend that you give SnowConvert your complete workload. So all of the table definitions, the view definition, the stored procedures, all together to be converted, because
Mhm.
SnowConvert needs to build an abstract syntax tree and then a symbol table with all of the different symbols. Like, for example, you have a table, you have columns, and then each column has a data type, right? And then maybe later on you're using you're referencing the table inside a procedure. But if you do not migrate the table and the procedure at the same time, then SnowConvert has no way to infer the data types of the columns, right? For example. And so if you don't know that, then the conversion is not as good as if SnowConvert is able to just assemble the whole data model in memory and
Mm-hmm.
then use it as part of the with the inference engine that we have built, to create the best possible code down there. So in terms of scale, we want all of your code at the same time through SnowConvert, and then we can discuss ways actually in which you want to deploy it in Snowflake. So you want to convert it all at the same time, but maybe you want to deploy it, first the tables, and then the views, and then the stored procedures and the functions. But at conversion time, when you're using SnowConvert, the recommendation is all of the code at the same time to get the best possible results.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay, it's basically that when we're trying to convert, we want to give the tool the entire context of the workload. So it's better to, give it all the entire workload. And then of course during the deployment phase, please do it, in a phased
Yeah.
out manner so you know how it's being migrated. Another question, I know we keep talking about code conversion, but does it also support data migration? Because migration on a broader sense involves the code and the data. But what does SnowConvert help us with, or if there's anything else?
So SnowConvert today, and the product that you can take the training and download today, is focused on code conversion.
Mm-hmm.
However, today we're also announcing a private preview of our data migration experience, and we're actually the private preview is for Redshift. Okay,
I see.
so and this is very new, and we're actually asking for customers who have Redshift and who would like to try it out together with our help, to fill out a form that maybe we can share later in our chat, so that they can register and say, I would like access, and then we can have a conversation with them and see whether they're the right candidate for it. But the idea with this new data migration experience is that then SnowConvert will connect to Redshift and actually extract the DDL directly from Redshift. You don't need the conversion scripts anymore, and then it would convert the objects, then deploy the objects into Snowflake, and then also perform the data migration. So it's kind of like an unload from Redshift into an S3 bucket, and then an upload into Snowflake from there.
I see. That is a lot of new announcements. I feel like today is really a big day for SnowConvert. And you're saying for Redshift, is it really an end-to-end experience? Meaning I don't have to be involved in the loop, in the sense SnowConvert can pull the data, convert the code and build the data models, and also migrate the data and even deploy it in your Snowflake account, everything end to end. I know it is a PR experience and customers have to, like request to work with us to get this experience enabled, but it sounds super exciting if it's going to be end to end.
So
All right. I think I lost Frederick, but cool. I was going to ask you if you can show us a demo of how we can use SnowConvert so we have a better mental model of how the tool works.
Yes, sure. So let me just share my screen to do our first demo.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here I'm going to present my screen. So hello everyone, and I'm Go. I'm here to show you the demo. And today we are going to show this first demo about the SQL Server translation, where I have put here some tables. So there's one table with some columns: varchar column, bit column, decimal, datetime, car, snow money, and money. Also three procedures, one with a case expression here, and another procedure we have a cursor declared here, opening the cursor and going to do some fetch on the cursor, and then return the result back to the one that is according to the procedure. And there is another one about how we are going to translate the output parameter of the usage in the procedures. And so remember that the code should be extracted by our recommended extraction script, which is here on, I'm going to just type quickly, docs.snowconvert.com. And this is the site that we have everything about SnowConvert. And if you click to getting started on best practices here, we have listed two best practices. And the first one is about extraction. And we highly recommend you to use our extraction scripts. So once you have extracted your input code, then we can just open SnowConvert. And remember that SnowConvert is a standalone tool. I'm going to open again. This is a standalone tool that you can install in Windows or in Mac. And once you open this application, and we have three options here, open project, new project, or we can just convert some sample projects. But in this demo, I'm going to click on new project. And since this is SQL Server, I'm going to type a name for this project, which is SQL Server demo. And we can select the source of the input code that we are going to migrate today. And in this case, I'm going to select SQL Server. And the next step that we have to do is to click on Browse the Input Folder path. And we have to provide the input folders path here, which is the path that I am already located here. And the output code path will be automatically generated. But in this case, I'm going to change the name to out or output. Okay, so today, since we're announcing the free for everyone, now you can just click on get an access code here. You can type your name, your last name, and this is very important. You have to provide your valid email and just adding this information here. And once you click everything, you press send, and an access code will be delivered at your inbox. Okay, so once you get the inbox, once you get the access code, you have just to copy the access code and enter here in this place. Since I have already installed one access code, I can just click on the previously added access code. And there is other conversion settings that we can customize my conversion, for example. A typical customization that we would like to do is, for example, maybe to add a schema, a specific schema name that I would like to add to my converted code. And in this case, let's add something here, my demo underscore, or yeah, my demo. Okay, save settings here, and let's just start converting the code. This is the first validation step that we always show here, and this is very intentional because this first demo that I am using, I haven't extracted my code from using our extraction scripts. So the SnowConvert will detect this, and it will just like show a warning telling you that, hey, maybe you haven't extracted with our recommended scripts, and you may get some issues further the code conversion phase. And also, this is just a quick scanning of the files that we would like to make sure that everything goes well. So we always like that the files comes with byte order mark, which will help us to load the files correctly. But since this is just a demo, we haven't had to worry about this, and we can just click on continue. SnowConvert is a tool that will start parsing your code and turning the code into abstract syntax tree, and we will run a set of translation rules to apply for each of the piece of the code, and then we will produce the Snowflake equivalent code. And as you can see, the conversion, it just did it so quickly. And we can just click here on check my results. And in this screen, you get like a sense of how well the code conversion did for this migration. And there is a lot of information here. So it is very important also to tell you that SnowConvert does not only provide the converted code, but also will tell you like what is the last mile migration, what is the pending part. And this
Mhm.
is always a very important aspect to consider. And so right after we check on this, and there are like 4 buttons. We can retry the conversion, we can view the log folder, view the report, and view the output. So the next thing that I would like to show you is, let's go to check the output. Okay, so the output should be here on the output folder, right? And inside the output folder, we have 3 folders here, the logs, and today we are not going to check on this, the output, which are the converted code, and also the reports. And we generate actually a lot of reports for you to do your own migration planning just to complete your last mile migration. Okay, so there is a lot of reports here. And let's just check on, for example, the first one, which is the tables, okay? This is the tables. I'm going to right click on select for compare. I'm using Visual Studio Code for my text editor. And let's click on this converted code and compare with selected. So this is a very useful feature for us just to check quickly what did SnowConvert do for the code conversion.
Mhm.
So as you can see here, SnowConvert translated from create table to create replace table. And do you remember that I added the my demo in the conversion setting? It is also applied here. And as you can see here also, from varchar, yeah, this is very straightforward, varchar to varchar, bit to boolean, decimal keeps the same, and datetime 2 is getting converted to timestamp NTZ with 7 precision. And if you want to check why SnowConvert did this migration, you can also go to check our website, and there is the specification on how and why we are translating from this to this. And also small money and money, we are converting it to number 38 and 4 of scale. So this is about the tables translation. And also another interesting one is about the functions migration. So let's take a look on this function. This function is multi-statement function. Okay, so this
Mhm.
looks like a procedure, right? And since now Snowflake is the function in Snowflake is single statement SQL. So SnowConvert did a huge work just to make this equivalent. And I will just open the file here at the right hand side. SnowConvert converted this function also into a function. Okay, this is very important to mention. And as you can see, SnowConvert started to do a pattern matching technique where it tried to to convert this into a single statement CTE query. So as you can see, we are storing some partial results, okay, for this function. So for example, this select, where is this select? Let's try to take a look on where is this select. So as you can see, this select is trying to select the active flag, which is basically this one. Okay, the line 7 in the source code is getting translated to this select, and it is stored as a partial result in this CTE, and the if statement here, as you can see, it is getting translated also to a second CTE, and the entire if statement is translated into this. And finally, we just return the result, right, from this partial result. So this is a very interesting translation that I wanted to show you today. There is other translation about procedures, but I'm not sure if Federico, you want to make a pause and make some comments.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're doing great, cool. And something that I just wanted to point out is that, even in the table translation, which, some people say, oh, table to table, should be easy, but I mean, there are details, and especially when you have a large number of tables, SnowConvert can help, right? If you're migrating one table, you can always do it by hand, right? But I mean, we are the mechanism to really help you with your massive migrations. And what Ku just showed, with the function, is an example of how much SnowConvert can help. Because I mean, a person having to understand that function and rewrite it as a single statement, would have taken, some time, right? And SnowConvert just did it for you. So this is the value of SnowConvert, right? In acceleration, it accelerates the translation of these scripts. So
Yep.
or you have another one, right? Or Vino, I don't know if you have a specific question.
No, I was going to say also looking at the create table query getting converted, it really looks like a very simple one. And I'm like, I could do it with a simple regex matching. But then you see the function getting converted. So SnowConvert is definitely smarter than that. It's able to understand the query and translate it into CTE statements. So that's definitely speaks to how smart SnowConvert can be. And also, can one of you speak to the volume or like how big, like how many tables or, our partners or customers have been working with SnowConvert, but can you speak to the scale of it, of how much have they been able to?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, we've converted over 2 billion lines of code in 46 million database objects, right? So again, this is why we feel very confident that this has been proven, and that we want everybody to be able to access it. It's been several years since March 2020 was our first translation. So.
Oh wow, okay. So
Yeah.
the tool really has been battle tested for years now, so I can understand. I think I have a couple of questions from the folks. I will maybe start with this one about the training. Is this a paid training, or like how am I supposed to sign up for the training?
So we can share the main page of SnowConvert, or if you just look Snowflake SnowConvert, in Google, it'll take you to the main page where SnowConvert is, and actually the training is free. This is free training, and it actually takes a little bit more than an hour to do it, conscientiously. We just want to make sure that you understand how SnowConvert is used, what to expect from it, and again, there's a few gotchas. That if you don't use it properly, then your experience is not going to be as good, right? So we prefer people to actually take the training before starting to use it.
I see. And I think before I go ahead with the other questions, I wanted to ask Kua, do you have anything else to demo? I know we're kind of on time, but if you could take maybe 5 minutes to kind of quickly run through any of the demo components that you have, that would be great.
And cool, maybe we can show something about Redshift, since Redshift is new today.
Yes, sure. So let me share my screen again. So on Redshift, let's check quickly the sample code that I prepared today. It's just a big table with all the data types here that we are translating, and also some small tables. And I have just prepared two views, and one is just selecting from to chart example, and let's check how SnowConvert will do on this translation for a to car, and with this very strange expression about the similar to. Okay, so let's go back to our SnowConvert. And we can just click on retry conversion, and here we can keep the project as the same name. We can just change to Redshift, and as you can see here, we since we are announcing today as preview, and here we have the option here, and let's change the input source folder from the SQL Server one to the Redshift one. And I'm going to adjust my output folder path,
Mm-hmm.
and we can
Use the
click on
same
start.
access code. Uh-huh.
Yes, sure. Use the same access code. So again, it will also start doing the same process.
That was
And
fast.
yeah, so yeah, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And the results, and let's take a look quickly on the converted code. So I'm going to select this one, the tables. Let's just check the tables conversion, compare with selected. So here, the SnowConvert did the data types translation from int2 to small int, also the BP chart to varchar, and we are adding also some messages or some warnings here just to tell you that, hey, for example, in this case, BP chart converted to varchar, these types may have some functional differences. So we just flag this out just for you to do some further analysis. Also, we are commenting out the with time zone here, since since this is not supported for a time data type.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get more explanation on this or how to solve this, and you can just visit also our documentation site, just copy this code and search on the site, and you will get some more information there. And also this timestamp data types is getting converted. And this is an interesting one, intervar year to month. We are converting to varchar, but we are adding we are actually injecting a compilation error here. So, and if you don't take a look on this, for example, on this message, and if you don't solve this error, then you won't be able to deploy your table. And okay, this is our tables conversion. And finally, let's just take a look on the views. I'm going to put at my right hand side. Just okay. So as you can see here, this to card is very interesting. We are translating this to card to this equivalent one, which actually we added some UDFs here. We added a UDF about full month name UDF and also a day name long UDF. And here are some other UDF that we added. And as you can see, we are also deploying some UDFs for you to just deploy quickly and to get the equivalency quickly. So we added all these UDFs just to make this code equivalent, behave functionally equivalent. And the second one is about the showing how we are translating the similar to. So when SnowConvert checks on this and it detects that this is a complex pattern, and this just translate from similar to R like. And we, as you can see, we also understood that, hey, this is something that we have to translate it to this equivalent pattern. And this is all the Redshift translation, which is a new capability that we are adding today on SnowConvert. Vino, you are muted.
Well, sorry, just trying to avoid any distractions during the demo. And yeah, I was wondering, kind of tying back into my earlier question, because we were talking about Redshift. I know we only did code conversion here, but we would also be able to do data migration and deploy it all directly to Snowflake. But my earlier question was that for the PRPR, the private preview of Redshift data migration experience, was it completely end-to-end? Is that my understanding right?
Yes, it's end to end, but again, there might be issues in the table conversions, right? And so you have to fix those issues before you deploy into Snowflake, right? So it's it will help you and minimize the work, and then it's going to be end to end. But
I see.
again, if there is a data type that you need to fix or something to take into consideration, you have to do it before you deploy it into Snowflake and before you do the data migration.
I see. So the tool does offer an end-to-end experience, but then we definitely want a human in the loop to kind of validate and verify the code
Yeah,
code conversion. Just make
yeah,
sure everything is fine before you just, deploy to Snowflake.
absolutely.
Totally, totally.
Someday we'll have give me your Redshift account and wait a little bit and then it's going to be in Snowflake, but we're not there yet.
Sooner. But I was also thinking there is another question that came up because we're talking about code conversions and also this, the utopian day of just connecting to Redshift and having everything on Snowflake. Does SnowConvert use LLM, or how are we doing this, conversions?
So currently we're not leveraging AI. We're using mostly compilers and transpilers techniques to do this, so that the output is completely deterministic, right? I mean, and we check the output, and all of the translation rules are what we call point-to-point translation rules, right? So we actually have translation rules that are very specific for Redshift or for Teradata or for Oracle, right? We're not really using generic translation tools, because the syntax is similar and we just translate it. We really make an analysis of the semantics of the source platform and make sure that we replicate the same semantic in Snowflake. So for now, we are not leveraging LLMs. However, that is something that we're definitely exploring. And
No, I think, as exciting as it can be to use LLMs, honestly, but I was absolutely blown when you said like this is going to be deterministic because we're not using LLMs. And I'm like, at this point, I would definitely take, deterministic code outputs and reliability and robustness of my code over the other things. But yes, super excited to see what's new and what's coming up next for SnowConvert. And that also brings me to the other question. Are there any other tools or like databases that we're planning to support in the future? I feel like a lot of folks are excited about, can I use Synapse SQL Server code from an SSDT project?
Well, I mean, we're always looking at what is the next database that SnowConvert should support. But as you can see, since we're using, as I said before, point-to-point translation rules, so this is not just a simple, I mean, I'll support another dialect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I mean, I don't have anything to announce, but we're always looking at, what is the market need, what are customers needing, and we'll try to support more databases in the future. Synapse is an interesting one just because it's so similar to SQL Server that I would tell people, try to use the SQL Server SnowConvert on Synapse code, and you should get, good results. Maybe not as good as if it was just SQL code, but it's something that you should definitely try, and it'll help you, even if it is not specifically for that, just because of the similarity between Synapse and SQL Server. Right?
Fair enough. Yeah, I think with that, maybe I will wrap up the session because we had great questions. I know like Frederic is also answering some of the questions on the comments. So folks, if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. And I'm sure Ko and Federico will also get in there to help you and send all the resources that you need to get started on SnowConvert over the comment section as well. And with that said, do you have any last minute thoughts and comments before we wrap up?
No, I mean, we really want people to take advantage of SnowConvert. So, I mean, we urge you to take the training and start using it. And also, if you have questions or anything, I mean, the SnowConvert team is here to support you, and we'd love to hear your feedback.
All right. With that said, firstly, big thanks for both of you and Kuo for showing fantastic demos with SQL Server first and Redshift after, which definitely helped me build a better mental model of how I can use SnowConvert. And Federico for taking all the questions and, in general, talking about all things SnowConvert today and as exciting as it can be.
Yeah, let's continue the conversation offline.
Yeah, exactly. So I will not stop talking, but we have to. So thanks everyone for all your questions, and thanks both of you for joining me today, and see you all next week.
Bye.